Every single day, more than 800 million rolls of toilet paper are used around the world. It is one of the most common items in our everyday life, yet it is something most of us never stop to think about. To meet this massive demand, factories produce hundreds of billions of rolls every year, using advanced machines that runs non-stop. But have you ever wondered how toilet paper is actually made? In today's video, we're going to follow the full journey of a toilet paper roll, from the raw material to the recycling process to the rolling, cutting, and final packaging. By the end of this video, you'll never look at a roll of toilet paper the same way again. Toilet paper, as you know it today, hasn't always existed. In 1857, an American businessman named Joseph Gaiety introduced what is called medicated paper. It was sold as a medical product with individual sheets soaked in aloe vera, and it was considered a luxury item. The familiar roll design came later on in 1890 when Seth Wheeler patented the perforated toilet paper roll, making it easier to tear and much more practical for everyday use. This invention changed everything. Mass production made toilet paper cheaper, easier to distribute, and accessible to homes around the world. Today, it is estimated that an average person uses about 40 rolls of toilet paper every single year. Now, with that introduction, let's look at what toilet paper is actually made from. Toilet paper can be produced using virgin cellulose, which comes from trees like pine and eucalyptus, or from recycled paper. But it is very important to clarify something. Used toilet paper is never recycled. Instead, toilet paper is made from clean paper waste, such as office papers, school papers, newspapers, or cardboards. This recycling process helps reduce deforestation. But turning rough, ink-covered paper into soft, white, absorbent toilet paper is far more complex than it sounds. Now, let's talk about the process. The process begins when tons of recyclable papers arrive at the factory. These papers are carefully sorted by machines that removes plastics, metals, and other non-paper material. Paper with less ink are preferred because they produce higher quality fibers and requires much fewer chemicals to remove the various inks and so forth from the paper. Once sorted, the paper moves to the disaggregation stage. Here, the paper is mixed with water inside a large machine called the hydropulper. The spinning motion breaks the paper apart into individual fibers, creating a very thick pulp. As the pulp moves through the system, sheaves and centrifuges removes any remaining contaminants like glue, staples, or plastic particles. Now, if the paper contains ink, it goes through a de-inking process. Chemicals are added that causes these ink particles to float to the surface, where they are skimmed off and removed. If needed, the pulp is further refined and brightened to improve softness and cleanliness. Sometimes a small amount of virgin cellulose is added to strengthen the final product, because this process is a very rigorous process, so it can break some of the fibers. So some virgin cellulose is needed to strengthen it, so that at the end of the process, we have the quality of toilet paper that we have today. Now, at this point, the mixture is about 95% water. Next, the pulp enters the refining stage. Inside this machine, rotating discs press and stretch the fibers, helping them bond more tightly. This step increases the strength and durability of the paper. The pulp is then diluted even further and sent to the heart of the factory, which is the paper machine. Here, the mixture is spread evenly onto a moving belt and filter system. As it travels forward, gravity, vibration, and vacuum suction remove water while aligning the fibers into a continuous sheet. The wet sheet then passes through press rollers, which squeezes out even more water and compact the fiber. This system is so efficient that about 90% of the water used in this process is reused by the factory for other toilet paper. Now, after pressing, the sheet still contains moisture, so it enters the drying stage. Large stem heating cylinders called Yankee dryers evaporate the remaining water. Temperatures can reach up to 150 degrees Celsius. It can't be too much because you don't want to burn the paper. At this stage, special additives may be applied to improve softness and absorbency. Now, once dry, the paper goes through calendering, where metal rollers smooth the surface and give it a uniform finish. This finish is then wound into massive rolls called mother rolls. These can be up to 80 kilometers long and weigh several tons. But before moving on, samples are tested for strength, softness, absorption, and safety. Now, when those criteria are met, the conversion process starts, where the paper becomes more like the paper we recognize. The mother roll is loaded into an automated rewinding machine. Sensors carefully control tension to prevent tearing. If the toilet paper has 2 or 3 layers, the sheets are bound together using light embossing or adhesive. The embossed pattern you see on the toilet paper aren't just for decoration. They improve softness, strength, and absorbency. Now, while the toilet paper is actually being made, simultaneously, the cardboard tubes are also being made. Recycled paper strips are rolled and glued into long spiral tubes, then cut to size. These tubes are fed into the rewinding machine, where the paper is wrapped around them with precise pressure control. The result is a long roll called a log, measuring over 2 meters in length. These logs are then sent to a high-speed cutting machine. Sharp rotating blades slice the logs into individual rolls, usually about 10 centimeters wide. The rolls are then cut, grouped, and sent to the packaging line. Depending on the product, they may be packed in a set of 4, 8, 12, or even more. These packages are then sealed, stacked, and prepared for shipment. And just like that, millions of toilet paper rolls are produced every single day. So the next time you reach for a roll of toilet paper, remember, it's the result of advanced engineering, careful recycling, and a production process refined over more than a century. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and share it with someone who loves learning how everyday things are made. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next episode. And let me know in the comment below, what product should we break down next? Catch you guys in the next one.